So when I was on YouTube, Daniel back here for another video for the channel. So if you're new here, essentially I help people with their habits in order to reach their 10.0 self as fast as possible. Habits being related to mentality, fitness, health, and also relationships, and just understanding the right things to do in order to reach that self that you have envisioned in your mind. So as you can see from the title of the video, this is going to be basically tips that I give my younger self in terms of relationships and how I went about meeting women when I was younger, and essentially things I would have done differently in order to have had a better experience with that, or just more quality experience. So you might be asking, who is this guy to give advice on this? So essentially, when I started the experience at the end of 2017, I had slept with only about 4 women, and the third one being the person that got me into this journey, which was I made a video about this, was my first relationships. And then by the end of 2021, which I had basically was slowing down, I had met somebody at that point that I was getting serious with. I had slept with over 70 women. So, I mean, I had done everything in the area that I was looking to do. All the experiences a lot of guys, are looking to do or sometimes dream of doing. I've done that, I would say. And I think it's at a point now I'm very satiated. And, I look at people around that are still in that phase of their life, of that whole phase of like chasing girls or doing whatever's, um, in their power to get girls. And I think, it's something I've done already. So I don't see any like FOMO of that. And I think some guys do have that FOMO. So essentially, to get right into it, there's a few things that I would change. I think I wouldn't change it looking back, but I think there's some things that I could have done to maybe get a more quality experience out of it, had more depth that I could have built in myself. I think it was a very superficial kind of journey, and me kind of just, you could say, like chasing numbers, as opposed to trying to better myself, um, and create more depth in myself and character. So number one would definitely be the monetary aspect of it. So um, improving my career or trying to find some purpose, as opposed to just doing something to pay the bills and then go out and fix this part of my life. So yeah, as I was going about things, I was super focused on this. It was something that almost made like a mission to get sorted out. So essentially, I was just kind of taking any mediocre shitty jobs on the side and not focusing on income, really, just kind of doing the bare minimum in order to be able to pay the expenses, and then everything else that I needed to go and work on this part of myself. I mean, this is something I do have in the back of my mind that if I did improve, I would be able to find more quality women, and also I would have more confidence in myself. I feel like I did place a lot of confidence in my ability to attract or pick up women in this case, and that was the only thing I was really validating myself at that time, which is kind of sad. And I think if I put my more emphasis on my career and who I was becoming on that side of life, or that avenue, I would have had less desire to have this validation from women, and then maybe just would have been more satisfied with less of a journey, you could say. So yeah, just working on career, and that would just help the whole experience as well. Being able to spend more on myself, which would just improve myself and attract better people, and also be able to have different experiences, like traveling more, um, having more free time to do things I wanted that would help me as a person. So that's number one. Number two would be giving a chance to relationships. I feel like I got a lot of guys that get into this, journey, or this like, um, a area of phase of their life where they're kind of just, chasing women or trying to get in this area. They don't really give a chance to relationships because it's seen as like soft, or it's not seen as cool by your friends to have feelings for a girl, or fall in love with somebody and share that experience. Especially when I was younger, I was just like very anti-relationship. I remember seeing it as like almost like, yeah, like a weakness. Like, why would I do that? I would get mad at people that would think that I would be in a relationship, like almost like insulted. And I mean, it was like pretty pathetic at some point. But I mean, looking back, the most growth I did have was when I was dating somebody or learning from women. I think women have a lot of ability to take out the deeper parts of you as a man. I think man to man, man to man communication is very superficial, And women to men is more, you have to get more in touch with your emotional side and things that you don't really look at as you're dealing with business side of your life and men in general. So I think that's one thing that would have helped me to kind of be a bit more vulnerable, but also learn about myself in different avenues. I think women have that ability, and I think it's something that's really cool, and I wish I kind of experienced more as opposed to just trying to avoid it because I was some hurt little kid essentially, and trying to, I guess, validate myself thinking I didn't need women, but at the end of the day I was with women and like meeting women to get over this. So it was a little weird, but essentially, yeah, so giving a chance to relationships. I had a lot of chances with women that I think um, I did hurt them by not accepting a relationship with them when they were actually like genuinely good women. So I mean, that would have changed the whole course of things, and I would have been a different person. But I mean, who knows? Like I said, I have no regrets about it. But maybe sometimes things I consider that would help me to like not be so superficial as I was going along my journey. And number three would be, I would say, putting more time into myself, personal development. So when I started this, this was more. This was kind of an avenue of personal development. The reason I say this and to defend this with my heart is because, like I said, I did this majority sober. I think a lot of guys when they do this, they use alcohol as a crutch because they don't have balls to go out and actually approach a woman, and they use the excuse of like, oh no, everyone gets drunk. It's just the normal thing, and essentially a guy is scared to hold his own frame and say that he's not drinking and he's actually there you know sober and trying to meet women. I think a lot of guys have this like shame that if a woman finds out that they're not drinking, that's kind of like ruins their chances. Like they'll think the girl's weird. The girl, they'll think that the girl thinks that they're weird, and they'll kind of just drink in order to like avoid that whole scenario. But I mean, I've been through that. There's ways to go around that. And essentially, when you are doing this sober, it forces you to really look into yourself and the things that you avoid and use as a crutch, which is the alcohol or even drugs. Sometimes, like very few men have the ability to like just go out in the day, meet a woman, things go well, they maybe go for coffee and drinks, and then they end up, you know, back at their place or wherever, and things happen. So I think very few men. I think of men, like a small percentage of men that think this is even possible. They think it's kind of just like you go out, drink, get lucky, spit a few words, and hopefully the girl likes it, and then you go back home with them. So I think, like I said, I defend the whole personal development thing in terms of the person I started, the person who started this journey in 2017 is a completely different person than the one you see now. It's completely, insecure, very shy, didn't have a lot of social ability, a lot of things that I didn't develop. And thanks to this journey, like I said, me doing it organically and without any enhancers or stimulants, I was able to just work on so many different parts of myself. I think eventually down the road, I did hit, parts where I was using substances, but I was so proficient. I felt like, or I had that area of my life so handled that I was able to kind of just do that without. And like I said, when I started the journey, I was very, very different. I could say very weak mentally. So um, I always say that people that are doing the journey and don't have the foundation should not drink or do anything that would alter their experience, because you have to have reference experiences of how you're talking to people, how they're reacting to you, what you're saying, and just being able to like really evaluate that at the end of every night or day that you go out. And it is like a practice and a skill that you can get good at as you get better and better over time, and put more time into it. So that would be number three. Just doing other things like reading more, reflecting, maybe doing things that would get my spiritual side up as well. Just being able to really round out myself as opposed to just got out the works and then maybe goes to the gym and then he'll go out. So the fourth one will tie into what you just said. So the gym is one that I would have put more emphasis on. I think, like I said, with the gym was kind of something I was kind of just doing with less frequency and less intensity. I was kind of just doing it to like stay healthy, um, be able to look good, but I could have looked better if I put more emphasis on it. And I mean, I was kind of just doing it to like keep in shape and doing like the bare minimum. but I could have done more, and I think I would have been able to have more confidence in myself and maybe attract better people in my life, because the way you keep yourself is a big reflection of how you think about yourself, and obviously the people around you respond to that. So I think that's one thing I would have done differently. So putting more time into the gym, eating better, maybe learning things that would help me in that area, and not just doing like basic like 40-50 minute workouts and then just trying to see where the next place is to go and stuff like that. So I would say those are the main four. I don't think that I have any other ones, because like I said, I don't regret the experience at all, but I think there's things that could have made the experience have a bit more quality and maybe met a few different people. But I mean, overall, it was something that I feel like I needed to do in order to become the person I am now and just kind of get that phase out of my life. I think it's essential for every guy to go through this phase. Um, I don't, I don't personally believe in just, choosing one woman and then thinking that's the woman for you. I think it's as bad as it sounds, you have to have like variety and choose from abundance as opposed to scarcity and just thinking, oh, I met 3 women in my life and I like this one, so this is my wife, or my long-term partner. I think you have to be able to meet 70 or whatever, however many you want, from choose from like a bigger pool of data. Have different conversations. You kind of know what you like, don't like, have experiences that you don't like or don't like, and then from there you can better choose a partner or someone that you genuinely like. So hope this helps with anybody in that phase right now. Like I said, it's a natural thing. You can try to talk your friends out of it and be like, hey man, you're wasting your time, but they'll never understand, because like I said, it's a natural kind of journey every man has to go through, whether he's younger or older. They always have that thought in their head, and it's kind of a natural thing. So I mean, like I said, I have no regrets about it. If you do have any questions about it, like I said, I can help you. If you follow me on Instagram at Mr. Daniel Arce, I do share a lot of content and value there, and things that I go through, and habits, and we can connect there. And if you like the video, please like and subscribe. More coming, and yeah, keep killing it.